Well, hello, my dear creatives, and welcome to my Christmas drawing Zoom party, where we are going to draw a lovely Christmas card. And by the way, let me pin this video for now. So I was preparing. As you can see, our today's card, it is themed. It is focused on traditional and special Christmas meals. So I was thinking what would be the best choice. I was thinking to either draw, this is like the most popular dessert here in New Zealand. It's pavlova. It's, by the way, named after a beautiful Russian ballerina. Her name is Pavlova. Her name was Pavlova. She visited New Zealand once. A New Zealand chef. He was so inspired by her dance that he literally created this dessert, which looks a little bit like this ballerina skirt. Also, I was thinking about drawing Christmas. It's like a how to call it, like a tart, but it's savory, so it's with caviar. Hi, Tatiana. Let me welcome Tatiana. So I can see people are still joining, but I decided that the biggest focus and the thing that looks like super Christmassy and it's very fun to draw is this Christmas martini. And right now I will put the link to the Pinterest image so you can see what we are going to draw. Please check the chat now, use this link and let me know if the image is open for you. Please let me know. Hello, Tatiana, Colombia, Christina, Jacqueline. So no more people in the waiting room. So for now we have 9 people joined. All right, so I will focus on my hands now. So please grab your sketchbook, grab your iPad, whatever you have right now. Maybe later I will switch to an iPad drawing, but I want to begin with regular pen and paper, analog. So we will focus on this Christmas martini. And please, one more time, can you see, guys, in the chat, I sent you the link to this Pinterest image that will be our reference photo for today's Zoom. So we'll be drawing from this picture. It's like a lovely Christmas martini. Please type in the chat if you can open it, and we will begin. I have such a merry mood already because yesterday I've attended a Christmas party in my co-working space, and it was like so much fun, like all with these Christmas songs. I really want to share this beautiful energy. Ariel, thank you. Katrin, thank you so much. Betty Landis entered the waiting room. Welcome, Betty. And please let me know if you can see this big screen with my hands on as a main screen, right? All right, so I will open this Christmas martini. By the way, I feel like I want to take this beautiful decoration off because it is so hot sitting in it, literally. All right, so let's create our Christmas mood. Please, one more time, prepare your pen, paper, iPad with Procreate, wherever you're going to draw. And we first will make a picture frame. Oh, by the way, let me close the door because there are helicopters today. So they will not distract us. Yeah, that's so much better. And because this frame, it's kind of magical, because I know a lot of people, they have fear of white blank page, like staring at them. And when you start drawing something simple like a frame, it instantly pushes you to continue drawing. So it's very, very nice and easy exercise, especially for beginners. And I want to start actually with a little thumbnail sketch. So make like a little tiny thumbnail. It can be like even 2 centimeters wide, 3 centimeters high. It can be like a bit larger, a bit smaller, because here we'll think about our composition. So what I want you to focus, because this is like a very specific tutorial, like drawing exercise. We're drawing not just a regular like interior sketch or architecture sketch, right? Like a lot of you guys know my background in interior architecture, and this is like a card, Christmas card to our like family, friends, like, Instagram, online buddies. So we want to locate here not only the image, but also the text. So what I recommend you to do is to use a rule of golden section. This is a rule of beautiful, perfect proportions. So there is this golden proportion, which is believed to be, it was discovered, I believe, by ancient Greeks, and it's a beautiful proportion, which is 0.618. So this big segment relates to this segment in the same proportion as this big segment relates to this little one. So don't be afraid that I begin with my favorite descriptive geometry. You can learn about more about golden section on Google, obviously, but here it's basically the type of division of our segment in such a way. It's not like the thirds. So if you divide into thirds and make it a bit closer to the middle, it will be about like very approximately, we can tell that this is golden section. The same will be here. So this big segment will divide into golden section. So one more time, if it's easier for you, you can divide into 3 equal parts and then make this bottom part just a little bit taller, a little bit higher. And this will give us golden section. This is really important because in terms of composition, our eyes, our brain, it perceives information from the imagery that it's looking at on a subconscious level. So if we work with beautiful, perfect proportions, it automatically says to your brain that this is like a beautiful composition. So in this triangular, we will locate our like greeting text, and in this space, we will locate this Christmas Martini beautiful cocktail that you can see on Pinterest board with the link that I've posted in the comments for those of you, because I can see people are still joining us live. So here, please just do this little thumbnail sketch. And you can see that on the reference photo, we have this decorative part of this cocktail located to the left, but we want to mirror it. So we will locate it to the right, because here to the left, we don't have enough space, and we want to locate here our like lettering, not lettering, but our like handwriting. So, oh, by the way, may I ask you guys, please check who is, oh, yeah, unmuted. Yeah, so I muted one person. Yeah, so it looks like sound is a bit better now. So you can see this like rosemary with berries. So this part will be located here. Plus, around this Christmas martini, we want to really leave some more space in the bottom. So even now, I feel like I want to make it a bit more spacious. So I will put this bottom part a bit up. So there will be space for berries. Also, as far as you can see, there are berries primarily located to the right-hand side. and we will switch it and we'll locate them to the left. And this is, by the way, the secret of drawing with the reference photo. We don't want to do like a photographic copy, right, of what we see. We want to play with it, especially when we know basic rules of composition. It's really easy to like trick. If you have Photoshop, it would be very easy for you just to mirror this Christmas Martini image and draw from it. But it's actually a good training for our imagination if we do it without Photoshop, like mirroring, right, and drawing from that mirrored image. But we do this mirroring in our head. It's actually very, very good exercise for our brain, for the neuroplasticity. Okay, and that's it for this composition. So here you might think about the text you want to draw. So maybe it's like Merry Christmas, as simple as that. Maybe you have a particular person, a family member in mind. So you might want to leave some space, some extra space to include his or her name, right? So like Mom, Merry Christmas, or like Diana, Merry Christmas. So you got the idea, right? So now that we have this preparatory drawing little thumbnail done, we can switch to this bigger format. Again, we'll divide it into golden section proportion. It doesn't need to be like perfect, but try to play the rules of golden section, right? Remember, I usually, like in my mind, I divide it into 3 equal parts and I leave a bit more space for the bottom part. Maybe even more space, yeah, because this looks like a third. And then with very, very light touch, you can cut out the space for the text. And I can hear someone. Yeah, now I'm muted. Okay, yeah, by the way, my dear creatives, we'll have a Q&A session at the end. So if you'll have any questions, you are very welcome to turn on your camera, to turn on your, microphone, to unmute yourself at the end. But since now it's like a recording and I want you to like focus on the drawing with me. All right, switching back to this martini, Christmas Martini. So the first thing we want to do is we want to locate this beautiful glass, right, in this space left. So it's very good idea to, again, use our golden section division. So we take this mark and very lightly, you can use it like as an axis. You can draw it, or you can simply like very easily mark on paper where the axis will be located. I do it like that so you can see it better. Then we want to focus on the shape of this martini glass, right? So we can see that basically it's a triangular, right? At the top, there is like a little beautiful glass leg and an all ellipse at the bottom. So this is pretty like straightforward. So again, look at this glass. It's also welcomes the idea of golden sections. So for the top part, for the triangular part, it will be approximately, again, golden section rules. So if we take this as a height and we divide it into 3 equal sections, so this time we just let a bit more space for the top part, Then we look at the proportion of this triangular form. First, we can very quickly sketch it. And if we take a closer look, we will see that the height in this case, the height is almost again like golden section to the width of this triangular, right? So we take the height, we measure it here, and we add about 1/3 of it, right? And of course, we want it to be symmetrical. So you either want to make it a bit wider, or you might want to make it a bit more narrow, right? Okay, the proportion here is already good, looks good. And then we show the ellipses. So we have an ellipse at the top, an ellipse at the bottom. And here I want to introduce you to this very simple principle of the horizon line. So as you can see, the photo was taking a little bit from the top, right? So we have this Christmas table set up, and we look at it from the top because we can see this ellipse, it's opened, right? That's why we want to add some space for this ellipse. So this is our triangular shape, right? And we take, let me tell you how much. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we divide this height of the triangular into halves, and then each half into halves, so it will be 1/4. So one more time, let me make it a bit more clear. Like the height of this triangular, so this one, we first divide it into halves, and then each half into halves, like this and this one. And this will be the space for the ellipse. Then to draw an ellipse, I know a lot of people struggle with drawing ellipses. Let me show you how ideally you want to draw ellipses. Ideally, when you practice just a little bit, you will be able to draw it like that. So you make this like elliptical shape in the air, and then you like very quickly touch the paper. So try it somewhere on the free space around your sketch. Just try it, just make like very, very, very quickly in the air, so you can see that I'm not touching the paper, and then quickly touch it. This is one of the ways. By the way, this is one of my favorite ways to draw ellipses, because it looks sketchy, it looks dynamic, as you can see, right? The line is very energetic. But if it's your like first time, or if you're a beginner in drawing, and especially ellipses, you want to understand like the geometry of it. So we want to support our ellipse with this central axis, horizontal central axis, and then a vertical one. It runs through the very middle, right? So these two segments, they are equal. Okay, so draw along with me. Then we want to show the opening. Two little parabolas to the left and to the right. I know I might sound like a math teacher now, but it's really very helpful. Like parabolas, remember these parabolas we used to draw on our math lessons, geometry lessons. And then we want to use this vertical axis as well. So from this center, like a crisscross of these two axes, we put a segment to the top and another to the bottom. And this is the way how we can finish our ellipse. So we prolong these lines from our parabola to the center, and the same here. So this is the way how you can quite mathematically correctly draw an ellipse. And of course, you can make an opening as big or as small as you want to. So for example, let me show it in a bit more quicker way. If we want to open this ellipse more, we simply draw these parabolas wider, and we let more space for the segments, right? And we make this opening like that. On the other hand, if you want to make this ellipse tiny, you just let less space, even less. Let me do it like that. So it's like very methodical type of drawing ellipses. Okay, now I hope that you will feel more comfortable with drawing an ellipse to this glass. So one more time, we are working with this top part. So this segment will be for the ellipse. So we will locate here the ellipse, right? If you feel brave, you are welcome to draw it like that. If you feel like you want a more mathematical approach, I will show it to you now. So let's take this segment. Let's divide it into halves one more time. So horizontal line. Remember, we draw parabolas in the corners. We show the height of the ellipse, and we already have it here. And we simply connect the dots. And you can draw it in very light lines, and later you might want to make it a bit bolder, especially this part which is closer to us. It will give us a bit of more spaciousness, more sense of like 3D. Like this glass, it has volume. And let's finish the idea. Let's do the same with the bottom ellipse. As you can see, it's a bit more narrow compared to the top one. So it's, if we draw a little like shape, not a diagonal, but like a long trapezium out of that. Long trapezium. So we don't want to make it too small, because this will give us a feeling that this glass is very unstable, and we don't want to make it the same width, because it will look like weird, very weird. So what you can do, you can make a projection to the bottom and see what the actual width of the top ellipse is. And again, you can play with this golden section rule. So you might want, oh, let me see, it's not very correct here. You might want to make it just about the right size for you. So you can see the reference photo. And one more time, since our horizon line, which is basically our eye level, is like the level from which the photographer took this photo, right? So it was his standing position point. We can see that this ellipse, it's closer to the horizon line. That's why it will open a little less compared to this ellipse. So let me illustrate this idea of ellipses according to the horizon line. So if this is our standing point, if there is like a person standing and watching at something like a round, let's say there is like a round table, right? Something like that. If we locate this table at the very level of his horizon line, it will look flat. But when we will take the table and put it like a couple of centimeters below the horizon line, we'll start to see how this ellipse will start to open. And the lower we put this little table, right, the more we will see the opening. The same with the upper part of the ellipse. So if we start to lift it, it will open more and more the higher we take it. Okay, I hope you got the idea. It looks like that. Okay. And yes, back to our Christmas glass. So for the bottom ellipse, we want to take a bit more space. So you can measure with your pencil or whatever you're using, even the ruler. I usually measure it like that. So I just mark it with my nail. So I can see this is the height. And if I measure it here, I can see like, okay, this is the height of my top ellipse. And of course, I want to open this bottom ellipse a bit more because it's simply below my horizon line. And I want it to look like natural. So this will be like the space into which we will place our bottom ellipse. Let me erase some unnecessary lines so it will not distract you. Okay, and now just repeat, let's repeat the idea of the same horizontal axis midline. We already have this vertical axis, right? And now we simply draw our parabolas, but just open them a bit more, And after that, you can finish your ellipse. We can finish it. All right. Congratulations, we are done with ellipses, the most tricky part of this tutorial. And now we are switching to this beautiful, beautiful leg. And just take a closer look at it. It's not like a very straight, right? It has a beautiful dynamic. It's more like a vase, right? So we can see that there is like the narrowest part of it, and it becomes wider the closer it is to the triangular shape. And when it reaches the bottom ellipse, right? So let's draw it. Let's draw a little tiny ellipse at the very top of this bottom one, because if we take a look at the profile of this glass, it will look like that, the profile. So schematically, it looks like that, but glass, it has its thickness. So basically this bottom ellipse, it will be this shaped, right? So we need this space. And if we show the leg, it will look like that. The glass has shape, right? The glass has a thickness, sorry. And since usually glass is blown like on machine, so some are like handcrafted, they will have this thickness in them. That's why we see this top little ellipse, because of this form, right? So this form of the glass, it has this ascension characteristic to it. Okay, let's show the most narrow part of the glass here. So it should be like really, literally, it can be 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters. And then we make it just a little bit more wide, closer to the top. And the same idea with the bottom. So this gives our glass really beautiful, lovely shape. Okay, and here the lines are pretty straight. So we have this nice curve, goes, and then it becomes straight, as you can see. The same from this side. Okay, beautiful glass, like architecture of Christmas Martini glass. All right, we're done with the glass, and now let's show in pencil the cocktail. Again, we embrace the idea of golden section. So if this is the height, the martini will be somewhere here. So again, since we are already familiar with the idea of ellipses, we want to draw another ellipse for the liquid, right? Because water, liquid, it takes the shape of the object that it's put into. Okay, next we switch to this decor of this Christmas glass. So there is a rosemary here, very lightly we can touch it. There are some berries, canapé. We can put some berries here. We can show a napkin here. I really love how this napkin looks like. Okay, and we can also very lightly start placating our Christmas message, Christmas greeting. So I will simply go for Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. If you want to include a name, or if you want to make it longer, bigger, you look what you want to include here and you adjust accordingly. At this point, I will erase some unnecessary lines. I will erase them. We don't need them anymore. The beauty of drawing on the iPad, so maybe at the end I will open my iPad. Because I wanted to start with an iPad, this Zoom session, but I've noticed that the battery was off. So I decided, okay, let's do it like analog. All right, so let me know how it goes for you this far. Are you ready for the colored stage? Because now we'll be switching to coloring. You can use like either markers or watercolor, or you probably haven't seen this part so far. Sorry. Here it is. Tatiana, Colombi, Katrine, Kadir, Ariel, how are you doing with this pencil drawing? Are you ready to color it, or do I need to like, wait? Well, you'll finish.
I'm ready.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Kadir. All right. So let's jump right to the colored medium of your choice. So I'll be using, I think, markers. And here I just want to focus on a couple of colors. So obviously color for the martini, color for rosemary, maybe even this lemon. We can see this, something like just a couple of colors. All right, so with the glass, it's very important that we understand the difference in textures. So here we have these beautiful nature shapes, which are, for example, rosemary and berries. We will focus, if you're drawing with markers right now, we'll be drawing them with like either brush nib or with a thin nib. But for the glass, I love to focus on wide nib because it gives very, very nice sharp line. So what we want to focus is to leave some space. You can either do it with your pencil or just do it in your imagination, some space for the white that will not touch at all. So it will be like a light playing on the glass. So let's figure out where this will be in your drawing. And then I simply apply this beautiful, beautiful color. And as you can see, my direction is to the center line. So the closer to the center, the more vertical the strokes are. This bottom part of the glass, it will look like this. Okay, we can show this border of the martini. You can use red color. Okay, so I'll introduce a bit more color to it. We can see that here at the bottom part, in this bottom part, the color of the liquid, it's more intense. That's why I will add some more hatching here. Also, if you're drawing with markers as well, we can use this nib, this part of the nib, this edge, and it will give us very thin line. So this part of the nib, it gives us kind of a medium width. This, if we apply it flat to the page, it gives us quite thick one. And this one, it gives us, this one, gives us really tiny. And I want to draw this ellipse with it and the border of the glass, so it will look. So let's imagine that these are like reflections. There is Christmas tree and like everything reflects on one another, and we can see even these red particles on the bottom of the glass. You can add some berries, even to the rosemary. So just spread this red color throughout the drawing. Also, you can already write Merry Christmas in it. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, like something like that. And then I will open my brush nib. So I'll open it and I will quickly, very easily touch the berries here. So we want to keep it like very lively and sketchy. We don't want to go into like academic drawing. Now I will add, no, I think this color will be only for the liquid here. Let's add some rosemary. So again, please notice that I'm using my brush nib for it. Brush nib here. Maybe some rosemary somewhere here, as we can see on the picture. And even some yellow for the lemon to refresh it all a little bit. Yep. We can, by the way, do with this green color, we can do the border of our card. When later we cut it out from our either sketchbook or maybe you're drawing already on a piece of paper, we can make this like as beautiful as we want to. So maybe I'll do simply like the dots, and then I'll cut somewhere here. So the dots will be the part of the composition. I think dots work always so good for the cards because they remind us the Christmas decoration for the Christmas tree, right? These rounded shapes. So they look like bubbles in champagne as well, but obviously bubbles are not green. But just in general, I find that it will make the entire composition look a bit more fun and engaging. So you can do whatever you want. You can draw like stars, little stars around, just to make it fun, right? So Christmas is this beautiful, magical time of the year when we want to feel like children again, expecting for the Santa, Father Christmas to come and bring us our presents. Right now, I feel like I want to add some green to the glass as well, some reflections here, maybe to its leg. But notice that this I'm doing with the wide nib, so it's not a brush nib, because for the glass, we want lines to be more precise compared to these organic natural shapes. And maybe I'll add some green to the text as well. I feel like here there is some empty space, so we can see on the photos there are little snowflakes, so maybe we can draw them as well, like a little Christmas decoration snowflakes. Let's draw them. So I feel like otherwise composition will look not finished. And I will add some yellowish to them, and also like very lightly touching. Okay. Let's finally add some details, either with our liner or with a pencil. For example, to this lemon, maybe you want to emphasize one part of the glass to make it a bit more contrasting. Or I feel like I want to add some thickness here to the to this glass, to this ellipse here, like this. So this part will like pop up a little bit, and I want to add maybe just green here to show the reflection of the glass, even though you can see that it's in black, but I believe it will look great in green as well. So something like that. So there will be a reflection effect. Something like that. Yeah, I think it looks better now. Maybe some details to the berries. And yeah, it looks quite good, right? So let me take my iPad and show you the sketch on here. So basically all the ideas that I shared with you here, they can be very easily applied in Procreate. So when I was preparing for this masterclass, so the same idea, right? But here is just a little bit easier to like erase unnecessary lines, right? We have layers here, so something with my Apple Pencil, it doesn't want to work today. Oh yeah, now it works. So with layers, obviously it's a bit easier, right? So the preparatory work I did here in layer 1. So I did all these lines, all the understanding of the proportions, as you can see. And right after that, I did a new layer with so much more confidence, as you can see in lines. And after that, we could do a new layer, which would go for the color. For the colors, so again, if we would love to, let me open this Christmas Martini, it's a bit more pinkish, so I think I'll go this way to the red. Yeah, this is like a perfect color. I pick the shape. You can even draw with the same brush, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, let's see. So we just simply color it like that. And we want to be really, really loose and relaxed here. So this part, I think, is a bit lighter in tone. Some reflections here and there. And now with this new feature in Procreate, we can add like new thicknesses, our favorite thicknesses for the brushes. How do we do it? Like we put our brush here. It says like it's size 50% and we click plus and it fixes here. That's pretty cool. A lot of people I know were waiting for it. Also, let me, by the way, I don't really like this color here. So I think it should be a bit darker. Since it's an iPad and we have like endless amount of colors, right? And we can also use colors from our palette here because they show us what the colors were we've used. The same idea, I'll spread this color throughout the entire glass. I'll add a bit more red here. Oh, by the way, it's a really good idea to put your color below your pencil drawing from the very first stage, right? So it will not overlap. And just add some green. You can see that on iPad, it's even like easy and faster to draw. Rosemary. Maybe rosemary here. Since it is sketching, so we can be like very, very playful. And here you see that I didn't focus here on the lettering, right, on this Merry Christmas part. So it was really a bad idea to first do a thumbnail sketch to understand where you will put your Merry Christmas and then to work. Because here it's a bit tricky because, yeah, we can put it here, but it will look more like vertical. We can put we can divide it like Merry here and Christmas here. So by the way, let's try to do it. Let me try to do it like Merry Christmas. That looks not bad actually. No. And then we tick off this preliminary layer, and yeah, we still have some space here. We can add, I don't know, something like, again, like stars, so anything like little tiny stars, like decor, Christmas tree decor or something like that. So I'm very, very sketchy and loose here, but you got the idea, right? All right. Now let me, oh, sorry, I just saw the comment from Ariel. Can you zoom it on your page a little more? Oh, I will try to do it. Yeah, let me check it out. Do we do it? Так. Sorry, I don't understand how to do it because this camera that you can see is moving. I'm recording it from my iPhone and I don't understand why I can't zoom it now because usually I could. Oh, so let me zoom it like that for you just to have a bit of a closer look. Hopefully it will help a little bit. Yep. All right, so now I open my Q&A session and I will switch to my big camera now. Yeah, thank you, Ariel. Sorry, I couldn't zoom it. I haven't seen your question. All right, so I'll fix this. I will. Wait. Pin like that. Let me put my Christmas decor back. Oh, let me know, my dear creatives. Wait, if you have any questions, if you are ready, especially to share your drawings with me, if you're ready to share like your insights, was it like too simple for you? Was it too hard? How was it? Did you like enjoy the process? Because I know a lot of you know that I'm more into like interior sketching, of course, and now I just wanted to do this lovely Christmas drawing live Zoom. So, dear Columbia, Katrine, Ariel, how are you doing? Tatiana, how are you doing? How are your Christmas cards? Did you draw along? Did you just watch for the inspiration and you'll watch it later to do like a real drawing? So you are very welcome now to turn on your cameras, to unmute your microphones. So let me know how you're doing. Tatiana writes, thank you so much. I was just watching, Ariel, I drew it and watched you colored it. So if you feel comfortable, you're very welcome to turn the camera and to show it to me. Oh, Gadir, yeah, Gadir. Unfortunately, I can't hear you. I don't know why. Can you say something? Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah, hi, Gadir. Wow, look at this. Oh, something with my sound.
Yeah.
Wow, let me just Merry Christmas. So
now I'm doing it in Procreate, but I'm still
yeah.
still drawing it.
You're like yeah, one Christmas card is for yourself, another one is for everybody else, right?
Yeah. Thank you for this.
Oh, thank you, good dear, thank you. It sounds like really sounds really good. All right, thank you guys so much. Ellipse part was so helpful. I will try to practice. Thank you, Tatiana. All right, my dear creatives, I will finish this Zoom now, the sound, and I will send you all the replay if you will watch if you will want to rewatch it. All right, very Merry Christmas and have a lovely, lovely rest of your day wherever you are now. Have a beautiful, merry mood. Yeah, hope to see you in my Zoom in 2023. So thank you so much for joining me live. And yeah, enjoy your day, enjoy your holiday season. Bye guys, bye Tatiana, Katrina, Ariel. Thank you so much. Bye.